Hello everyone. Uh, we will begin with this chapter, Introduction to Financial Accounts. Okay. Actually, we have already finished part 1 of this chapter, right? Today I have divided this chapter in two parts. So today we are going to start and we are going to also finish this part 2. In part 1, just a quick revision we will do. We have done everything about journal entry, right? For recording a journal entry, we need to know the golden rules of accounts. Okay, golden rules of accounts. That is nothing but understanding the three types of accounts which we have. We have one personal and impersonal. Impersonal. In impersonal itself, we have real and nominal. Okay, so quickly we will just revise this and then start with our ledgers. Okay, personal account. In case of personal account, we debit the receiver and we credit the giver. In case of real account, we debit what comes in and credit what goes out. And in nominal account, we debit all the expenses and we credit all the incomes. Okay, so we had done all these golden rules of account. We also did certain examples, okay, wherein the we had to identify which accounts and how will they be treated, right? And the accounting equation. Okay, so this is like really important from this chapter. Even in your MCQs, when you will be practicing your MCQs, you will come across many such questions. Okay, so in accounting equation, we did what? We said assets is nothing but it is equal to capital plus liabilities. Okay, so we have our trial balance. When we prepare our trial balance and then post it to P&L and balance sheet, our balance sheet should tally. Okay, balance sheet has to tally. It has to be at the same total. Okay, the asset side and the liability side. So liability consists of capital also, right? Now we have debit should be equal to the credit. All right, so these are the certain rules, golden rules of accounts. Okay, now when I am saying that we have to record a journal entry, okay, how do we record? How is a journal made? Okay, it is known as the books of accounts which we keep. So in case of journal entry, we have the date, we have particulars, we have the ledger folio number, we have the debit and we have the credit. So whenever we record the entry, we start with the date, we record the entry, say suppose cash account debit to sales. Okay, so in the debit side 1000, credit side 1000. This is just an example. Okay, and we write the ledger folio number. Why? So that when I am referring this journal entry, for me it is easy to identify that in which ledger folio has this entry been posted to. Okay. However, now since you do not have to solve any of the sums like this, like in full-fledged, it is an MCQ paper. So, but it is just like you should know that, okay, this is the format of how to have a journal. Now, after the journal, we have the ledgers. Now, based on this example only, I am making two ledgers. One is cash account, one is sales account. Okay, the ledger has two sides, again in the T form. One is debit and the credit. Okay, so every ledger has debit and credit side. Okay, to begin with, even a ledger begins with a date. It has particulars. Okay, it has the journal number, journal folio number and the amount. Similarly, on the credit side, date, particulars, okay, journal folio number and the amount. Whenever I record any of my journal entry when I am posting them. It is known as posting. Okay, I post this journal entry to the ledger account. So since cash account is debited, I will write it on my debit side even in my ledger. Okay, so cash account is debited, I will write to sales. I have to write the name of the other account, of the opposite account, and the amount will be 1000. In case of sales, I will write it on the credit side because sales is credited. So it will be buy cash 1000. Okay. Now, with this only ledger, okay, say I want to close this ledger. I want to close it. I have only one entry in my cash. Okay, so when I close it, $1,000, $1,000. I'm closing my ledger of cash account. I will write here whatever is the date. Buy balance carried forward. I'm going to take this balance. This ledger is not tallying. There are certain ledgers which tally, which close. The number of debits will be total number of credits, and that particular ledger, that small book will close. Okay, but if it is not tallying, that means there is a balance. So this is known as closing balance. That closing balance, when I take it, say the closing balance is on 31st of March. I open it and take it on 1st of April. I'll write here to opening balance, or I can also write to balance brought down. Okay, so this is my opening balance and this will be my closing balance. So if I am to ask you that what is the balance of the cash account, whether it is a debit balance or whether it is a credit balance, so people get confused. They say, "Arey ma'am, you closed it on the credit side, no? So it is a credit balance." No. The debit side is more. Debit is more than the credit. So therefore it will be known as a debit balance. Simple. I will always see the opening balance in order to know which balance is this particular account having. Whether it is having a debit or a credit balance, I'll always see my opening. Okay, closing, I had to do it on the credit side. There is a balance, lot of balance on the debit. That is why it has to be taken on the credit side, and I start with the opening also on the debit side. Okay, so these are certain important concepts, okay, which we have to understand. We are going to do all this, journal entries constantly in another 5 to 6 chapters. So your journal entry concepts, your debit credit concepts, opening balance, closing balance, everything has to be clear. Okay. Likewise, when I close my sales account, okay, if I am closing my sales account, I will have two balance to be carried forward. So this will be known as the closing. When I will bring this same balance, okay, it will be known as buy balance brought down 1000. This will be known as opening. Okay, so I can say sales account has got a credit balance. Sales debit balance हो सकता है, हो भी नहीं सकता है. Sales is a income, nominal account. It's always credited. ठीक है, unless and until you have something like a sales return or something. Okay, but sales return generally we prefer making a separate ledger account. Okay, so with this I have explained you a journal entry, the journal book, ledgers. In ledgers we have main important ledger is our purchase account. Okay, we have purchase books, we have sale book. Because see, now big organizations cannot make only one journal entry book and record everything in that. If it is a small organization, yes, then they will have only simple one journal book in which they will record all the entries because there are no much transactions. But if it is a very big organization, they will have a separate book for purchase, separate book for sales. They will also have a separate book for bills receivable, when you have to receive money. from a party, your debtors basically. Okay, and you will also have a separate book for bills payable, which are your creditors. Okay, and obviously you always have a separate cash, or you can say a bank account, which is always a separate book which is being maintained. Okay, so these are separate ledgers. You can have one journal book, you can also have 2-3 different type of journal entry books in which you record only these transactions, and these are the basically the separate ledgers which we prepare. Okay, for each type of sales, purchase, okay, all that will be recorded in the separate ledgers. Okay, so let's go to our from here. Okay, recording of the transactions. First, I will identify the transaction, what kind of a transaction it is. Okay, how will I identify? I have an invoice, something. Okay, record that in my journal book, classify that and properly record it in my ledger accounts, and then summarize them in final accounts. Whenever I talk about final accounts, I am talking about P&L and balance sheet, right? So a journal is known as a primary entry book. All the transactions are first recorded here and then taken into the ledger, and it is always date wise, okay, chronologically. Okay, and journalizing is the root of accounting. So I explained you the format. We always write in the books of, so say the name of the company is Radha Enterprises. Okay, in the books of Radha Enterprises Limited. Okay, you have the date, then you have the particulars, you have the ledger folio number, the debit amount and the credit amount. After every journal entry, you have a narration. You know, you write a narration starting with the words being. What is that transaction upon? So say being cash sales made of ₹1,000. Bas, small narration, one liner. Just to have a reference as to what is this journal entry all about. Okay. Procedure of journalizing, I have already told you, we will definitely have two accounts. One is debit, one is credit. We will apply the rules and we will put the entry. Sometimes it may so happen that we may have two debit accounts, one credit account. Now how will that happen? Say suppose if I did a cash sales of ₹1,000, okay, and I gave him, the person who took my products, I gave him cash discount of ₹100. Okay, so now when I am going to receive money, I am going to receive only 900. I am not going to receive 1,000. But the sales which I have made is 1,000. That means this 100 is a discount. Discount when I give for the company, it is an expense, nominal account. So here it will be discount account, debit 100. So this is known as a compounded journal entry. Okay, where there can be more of, there are two debits and one credit, or one debit and two credits, because always the debit side should be the same as the credit side. Thus we have to recognize if there is more than one entry even in any of the sides. Okay, then you have balance to be brought down, balance to be carried forward. Okay, I will always use balance carried forward for closing the account and balance brought down for opening the account. Open. Alright, compounded journal entries also I have explained. Now ledger. Okay, now ledger is nothing but posting all these journal entries, making their accounts separately. Okay, so we just made one sales account, we also made one cash account. Similarly, we can have purchase account, salaries account. You can have innumerable accounts depending upon the number of journal entries you have. Okay, so the ledger has a debit side and it has a credit side. Amount, journal folio, particulars, date on the credit. Similarly, date, particulars, journal folio, amount on the debit side. Okay. Then how do you post it from the journal to the ledger? Okay, by transferring the debit and credit items from the journal entry to the given ledger by giving the opposite account's name. Okay, so the rules of posting, it is not asked in the MCQ. It is for you to understand, which I have already taught you by making one ledger. Okay, and we will be making certain ledgers today. We will make one cash account, which is again a ledger. Okay. Now we have subsidiary books of accounts. सबसे पहला तो अपना journal entry. When I do a journal entry, my journal book is my primary book. Without that, I cannot move forward. Okay, all the business transactions get recorded. But if there are too many transactions, then my journal is divided: purchase book, sales book, purchase return book, sales return book, bills receivable book, bills payable, and cash book. Okay, so these because this is like constant transaction of purchase, sale return, bills receivable, bills payable, cash every day. Okay, so it requires a little bigger book. So we separate these books from a normal journal book. Okay, so journal book अलग से रखेंगे, which will be a general journal in which we'll record all the general transactions. But when it will come to purchase, sales, bills receivable, payable, cash, we will record it in a separate book. Okay, purchase return means what? When I purchase, when company purchases and returns the goods. And sales return will be when the company has done a sales and have received the goods back. Okay, so purchase return, sales return book. So the specimen remains the same. However, I have given you all, if I am doing a purchase book or sales book, I want to make that book, then the date, particulars, whatever journal entry I have made, that folio number, what is my invoice, which invoice, ledger folio number, details, and the amount. Okay, so purchase book and sales book performer is always like this. So if I am maintaining separate books for sales and purchase, I have to record it strictly in this format. Okay. Similarly, purchase return book, sales return book, I'll have the date, I'll give the particulars, debit note or credit note. Very important. Okay, because what happens here is, say suppose I had purchased some goods. Okay, I'll tell you this debit note and credit note thing. Purchase return. Okay, and sales return. Okay, in between, like I had purchased some, I had done shopping from Raymond. Okay, now when I purchased those those shirts and t-shirts etc. from Raymond, however there was a defect, so I had to refund it, so I returned them. Now when I returned it, they did not give me my cash back. ये लो मैडम, आपने जितना पैसा दिया वो return. No, what did they do is they gave me a credit note. For me it is a credit note. Means I can use this credit. It is like a credit available for me. Whenever I will go next and I purchase something, I can use this. For Raymond, it is a debit note. Okay, because their goods are returned back. Okay, so for them it will become a debit note. So same logic when if I'll apply for my sales return. Okay, purchase return I am doing, so I am seeing from the company point of view. The company here is Raymond. Similarly, when company Raymond does a sales return, so they will now get a credit note. Okay, and from the person whom or business any other from whom they have purchased, okay, they will make for themselves a debit note. Okay, so this is how the debit note and the credit note works. Okay, you have a ledger folio number, amount. Bills receivable, bills payable. In that you do not have to learn all these formats. It is just for your understanding. We write the bill number, the date when the bill was accepted, okay, received from or who had drawn that bill, ledger folio, then payment acceptance date of the bill, how much is the term, like it is for 1 month, when is the due date, say 31st of March. Okay, amount 1000. Disposal, when it has to be, where it has to be disposal. Sometimes people write the place also, Mumbai, etc. Okay, then we have cash book. Cash book we are going to prepare today. In cash we follow this method: receipts and payments. Same thing. Okay, receipts I record on the debit side, payments I record on the credit side. This is my cash book. Okay, so obviously cash is a real account. Debit what comes in. So receipt is nothing but comes in. Credit what goes out, payment. Okay, it will always be in the chronological order. Now in cash book you can have a single column, one debit, one credit, that's it. You can have a double column in which you are also recording your discount given, discount received, and generally people make this 3-column cash book in which we record everything. We record the discount also. Okay, we give the cash column also, and we give the bank column also. Okay, I'll come to this later on. Okay, 3-column cash book in which we record the bank column also. Okay, because what happens is one very small difference. Okay, when the company makes the cash account or the cash book, okay, cash account or cash book, one and the same thing. Okay, so for me, debit the receipt and credit the payment. Okay, but when I open a bank account, so bank keeps the same ledger which is known as passbook. Okay? In the passbook, this is the way it has been recorded. Okay? You will have withdrawals and deposits. So it is like a opposite thing. Okay, withdrawals from the bank account and deposits into the bank account. So your withdrawals is debit and deposits is credit. Passbook is what? It is my only account, no company's account in the bank. But how is that showed? Debit side shows withdrawals, credit side shows deposit. But my cash book, okay, I have the debit receipts and I have the credit payments. So even the bank account is bank column is recorded when I make the cash book. So when our life becomes little easy, we know that okay, in bank passbook what will be there, correct? Because now all the transactions happen through my bank account. Then we have so when I come to making of this 3-column cash book, at that time we will discuss this. Okay, contra entry also we will discuss at that time. Then you have a petty cash book. Petty cash book is kept for doing a day-to-day small expenses, okay, for which you cannot keep going to the bank account and withdrawing money there. No, so it is like kept it in your small box. Okay, say around per month you keep 1000 rupees. Okay, you tell your office boy that this is there for your daily expenses, like stationery, you brought tea for somebody, something like that. Okay, you paid a little money to somebody who had come to clean the office, etc. Okay, so 1000 is kept in the box per month. Okay, per month we will try to see that the amount is always 1000. So say in that month you have used rupees 800, we will again refill it with rupees 800 for the month of February, so that the amount is again back to 1000. This is known as impress system of keeping the petty cash book. Okay, you decide an amount that every month in my petty cash box there should be this much of amount. Okay, so then if that amount has already been used, you again refill it with that same amount and bring it back to the original amount. Okay, so say example, say if rupees 600 are given to the cashier every month, in the month of January he spends only 300 and 200 are now left with him. Okay, So for the month of February he will be only again given rupees 300 and not 600. Okay. So the impressed system of maintaining the petty cash book is this. Then you have the general journal. Okay. You have the opening journal entry. You have the closing. We have to certain times do adjustment entry, because in accounts you cannot erase. So if there is any mistake, that mistake also in accounts has to be rectified with the help of journal entry only. So you may have to do adjustment, transferring of the entry, rectifying, purchasing fixed assets or credit on stationery on credit, sale of worn out or obsolete assets like your table, furniture, etc. Okay. And then from the ledgers, we prepare a trial balance statement which gives you the details of all the accounts, that is the particulars. Okay. Say you have cash, capital, okay, sales, purchase, all taken from your ledgers. Okay, you have the debit and you have the credit. Okay, so you have debit, credit, sales again, credit, purchase in the debit column. With the help of this trial balance, we prepare the profit and loss account and the balance sheet. So trial balance should always tally. Okay, if there is a mistake, okay, the trial balance will never tally. If it is not tallying, then you have to see why it is not tallying and go back to your ledgers. From ledgers again go back to your journal entry to find the error and rectify the same. Okay, so you have the trial balance, you have serial number, particulars, ledger folio number, debit amount and the credit amount. All right. Okay, so let's begin with this one question. We have to journalize the transaction in the books of Radha. They have given the year 2012 and they have given us the dates also, and they have given us the details of the particular transactions. There are 10 transactions. Okay, so let's begin. First one, on 2nd of March commenced business with cash. Okay, so commenced business with cash. In that case, cash is going to come in. So cash account debit 2,50,000. Okay, and Radha's capital account, it is capital brought into the business. Okay, she is the giver. Credited to Radha's capital account. So cash account debit to Radha's capital account. Okay, now let's start with the sum. We have to record these transactions in the cash book of Mr. Singh. Okay, so now we will not record any journal entry. Directly we will make the cash book and we will try to record it in the cash book. Okay, I am going to make 2 column cash book. So when I say it is a 2 column, means it has got the discount column as well as the cash column. Okay, so cash book of Mr. Singh. Particulars, I have not made the date column. Particulars, ledger folio, discount column and the cash column, credit side. Similarly on the debit side. Okay, let's start. First one, Mohanlal has commenced the business with cash 1 lakh. Cash is coming in, it should be recorded on the debit side. Simple. So I have started with 2 balance brought down. Because he had commenced his business, I am making cash book for 1st of April. Okay, so either if you want, it can be written 2 capital also. I have written 2 balance brought down, because if I would have closed my capital account, this would have been the balance. So 2 balance brought down, cash in the cash column 1 lakh. Next, I bought goods for cash. When I bring goods, I purchase, cash is going to move out. So it has to be on the credit side. So buy purchase is 65,700. Then I did a sale, sold goods for cash 4320. Cash is going to come in debit side. So to sales account 4320. Received cash from Fateh Singh and then I allowed him a discount also of 50. When I will receive cash obviously cash mein debit. And when I provide discount to my customers, discount will become an expense for me. Nominal account debited. So both will come on the debit side. See, to Fateh Singh, I received 1800 and I also provided him a discount. So easy, no? To see this, oh yes. यहाँ पे देख के ही पता चला. Okay, cash 1800 and I had given him a discount. Correct? Next, I paid cash to Mr. Shuganchan. Okay, and he gave me a discount of 500. So when I'm paying, it is going to go on a credit side of cash book. And if I am receiving discount, for me it is like a income, nominal account. Income is recorded on the credit side. Okay, so cash paid to Shuganchan 19,500 and received discount from him as 500. Paid office for office furniture. Pay, cash is going to move out directly. Buy furniture 5680. Sold goods again for cash. Cash is going to come in 7810. Okay. Then received cash. Sold goods for cash. Cash is going to come in. Received cash from Subramaniam and again I gave him a discount of 120. So this is going to be my expense and this I have received it. So 120 expense to Subramaniam and this is the amount he paid. Paid for advertising 500, so it's an expense. It will go on the credit side. When I pay, cash is going to move out, so credit. Cash paid to Asia Trading and they gave me a discount of 250. So cash paid, credit side. Discount received, income, credit side. So cash paid 2300 and 250 is the discount. Cash sales again 1280 debit. Cash received from Fateh Singh, again it will be debit. So both this I am writing here. To sales to Fateh Singh. Okay, now discount column you never close. Okay, discount here what I am doing is just recording. It is just a memorandum of recording. Okay, I am not making a ledger of discount here. I am putting these columns for my understanding, for a better understanding. That's it. So I am not going to close them. I will just write the total. So here my total is 170. Here my total is 750. Only total. But cash account I am going to close. It is my ledger. Okay, so when I close, I see that there is more amount on the debit side. So I close by buy balance carried down 16,250. Similarly, I will take that here as to balance brought down 16,250. Okay, understood this cash book?
Yes.
Okay, fine. In case of a 3-column cash book, okay, 3-column cash book. In that we have the particulars. Same thing, okay, right now what we did. Okay, particulars, we have the discount column, we will also have the cash column and we will have the bank column. And same thing on the credit side, we will have the particulars. Okay, discount, cash and bank column. Okay, so say suppose if I give you a journal entry, if I tell you deposited 10,000 in bank. Okay, so immediately the journal entry will be what? Bank is the receiver, so bank account debit. To cash account, cash is moving out 10,000, 10,000. Correct. So if I have to record for my cash, I'll record it on my credit side, writing buy bank. I'll record it on in my cash column only, 10,000. Right? And here I will record it in my bank column. To cash okay, I'll record it in my bank column because bank is the receiver. debit the receiver. Cash is moving out, so credit that goes out. Okay, so by bank, recording it in the cash column, and to cash by recording it in the bank column. This is known as a contra journal entry. Okay, generally whenever there is a contra journal entry, you write a C, okay, to indicate that yes, see, this is a contra journal entry. Both the entries are there on both the sides, but in different columns. Okay, same thing it can happen when I withdraw money from the bank. So withdrawal of rupees 20,000 from bank. When I withdraw money, cash is going to come in. So cash account debit to who is the giver? Bank account. Okay, cash account debit 20,000 to bank account 20,000. Correct? In that case, here since cash account is debited, I will write to bank, and I will write it in my cash column. Okay, and here by cash, opposite accounts name, by cash, and I am going to write it in the bank column. These kind of journal entries are known as contra journal entries. Okay, which is there in the 3-column cash book only. So generally we make 3-column cash book so that we can have a quick understanding at a glance of it. Okay, when I see this type of a cash book, I know, oh, bank account, yes, okay, to cash, that means bank mein deposit kiya, bank se this is withdrawn. Okay, immediately with the glance of it I can get a understanding. All right, so with this I have completed the entire chapter of introduction to financial accounts. Okay, with the required sums, which are possibly only these type of sums are there. There is nothing more than this. Okay, now you can even practice it from your scanner, all your MCQs. It is more of theory. Okay, so you all are supposed to know concepts, okay, of what is a journal, what is impress system of a petty cash book, what is a cash book, okay, subsidiary books of accounts, everything, contingent asset, contingent liability, all this theory related concepts. You have to solve those MCQs from your Taxman scanner. Okay, now the next chapter which I am going to start with, not today or probably tomorrow, is issue of shares. Okay, with that your concepts of journal entry, ledger, everything will become more clear. Okay, thank you so much.